Hi everyone, we are now starting day 3 of our textile tours of Japan with the Patchwork Ninja tour group. We're heading off to 2 workshops today. There'll be a lunch in the middle. The first one is all about the stencil printing of the kimono, predominantly the ones that the ninjas use, the warriors, are uniforms, so very fine. Timber blocks used to create these fabrics, printed beautiful. We've seen a sample, so we're heading off to have a closer look at this technique, and then after lunch we're going to see weaving of fabrics used in the obis, which is the piece that goes around their waist when they wear a kimono. Should be beautiful. All right guys, I'll tune in later. We're about to get in our cabs.
And then they are the first accredited national human treasures. And then their wood printing stencils has been accredited as national treasures. Okay? And then that's even earlier compared to the when the use and all the other colorful kimono becomes really popular. So we are going to one of the most privileged workplace. So we're going to introduce this is the CEO of this company. Yeah. お名前は安江俊弘さん。そう、俊弘安江さん。で、どんぐらい何代目とか何年とか。
4代目になるんだけど、はい、今で103年ぐらいね。
あ、そうですか。創業103年。So this that business was based about 103 years ago, and then this is the 4th generation. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. The knives are very sharp and fine, and yeah, that's how they make the stencil. Yeah, that their skills and also the stencil by itself is accredited as a human nature and a national human treasure. Yeah, and then I want you to have a look this very fine detail. No one else can do it. Okay, so yeah. So, and this is the guy. He's the master. He already passed away, but he's the only guy who was allowed to put the knife against emperor. Because normally if the emperor in front of you, it's so disrespectful you holding a knife. But he was you can see the photo over there, but he was doing the work and the emperor is looking at in front, but he was only the guy who was allowed to do this. Yeah, so let's go inside. How you print your kimonos for the other colorful kimonos, because this is a traditional way of printing kimonos, and only a few places doing that, from a couple hundred years ago. So this sensei is going to explain to you how to do it. So it's all about making the glue. They put the colors onto your glue, and then when you dye with your glue, then and then you do the kimono stencil printing, and then the glue, and then the steamed glue, and then that will color the kimonos. You understand more when you actually experience.
Oh my goodness.
And I want you to have a look on that one too. These ones are really fascinating.
Oh my goodness.
It's so delicate, and then they did it by hand. This one's also, and this one is also. And then you see that's the photo. That's the emperor, and then he was putting a knife against the emperor. And then he's only the guy who was allowed to do this.
Wow.
Okay, so keep proceeding here. So like this, those fine
What's that?
details. This is again like it's
Emperor?
previous emperor. That's a
Okay.
previous emperor.
Yeah.
So like 40 years ago, like that's about 40 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still have an emperor?
Oh yeah. Our emperor is like about 60 years old now, and then like he just switched over about 6 years ago. So like this, we have a relatively new emperor now, and then they are very international. Like they look after people from overseas, and yeah, they can speak multiple languages. And
Like ambassador for your country.
absolutely, yeah.
こっち側に入るんですけども、多分一人ずつ入ってって入って出てってこういう感じで。
So go in?
そうです。ここ書いたらこのままぐるーっと回ってこっちに入ってきて。
あ、そうですか。
皆さんこっちでもう全部すぐやってしまいますので。
あ、わかりました。じゃあまず皆さんを。
So I've just created my piece over there, and now I'm to the back of the queue, and everyone else is going to have a go. But pretty much the ink is mixed into a gum. The gum is then squeegeed, if that's the right word, over the stencil, very slowly, very carefully. So that's just what I did. And then once you've moved across the piece, you lift up the stencil and you have your print. Fantastic. Okay, we just had explained to us that the stencil, the black that you can see, will be white, and then they will colour the fabric to a background colour. And then they steam the piece of fabric, the gum disappears, and the ink stays. Very, very cool. This gentleman is beside us printing, and his print is continuous. So he is using some little pins to put the stencil in exactly the right spot so that his print is continuous. Amazing.
Please allow us some time to send you because like this, you know, I'm not coming back to Japan, and with next 3 months I won't be here. So like this, that can be close to the end of the year, but like my apology. But like this, that will turn into really good. So like, yes, but I'll make sure I'm going to ship it to you. Okay. So like this, yeah. Stay tuned to my Zoom. Yeah. This is the one of the top in hierarchy, like the best Nishijin kimono. Nishijin is a Kyoto's like a finest brand of kimono. So like this, normally if you see like this Nishijin brand of kimono, that's fortune. That's so expensive. This Maizuru is like just one of the biggest like weaving company in Kyoto, and then like 何代目くらい？
私がこの会社の4代目で、舞鶴県の10代目です。
So this is the CEO of this company, Maizuru-san. Maizuru-san.
はい。
Maizuru-san. And then like he's a fourth generation, but like to say it's a family line business, and then like 10th generations of his family line. So it's a proper business. And then like this is a new CEO. So like it's a family line, like this, you know, succeeding the business. Yeah. So like this, they've been making like just a kimono and obi, especially weaving obi for royal family.
Mm-hmm.
So like this, you see some of the photos, like you see, you know, emperors or royal family people wearing their obi. Yeah. So じゃあ自己紹介をよろしくお願いします。
どうも皆さんはじめまして。
So nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming here. Spread through SNS. Yeah, please. Yeah, you want to advertise.
彼女の技術をぜひ世界の人に見てもらいたいです。
So she's very skilled artist. So like he wants to like he wants you to spread the word.
Spread the word.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
really brilliant.
They're more than happy for us to film, take photos, because we need to spread the
こ
word
こは
about
手織り
this.
工場です。
So this is for the hand weaving. Like you know, like machine weaving, hand weaving. This is the traditional hand weaving place.
この手織りの食器は、木でできてます。
So it's made out of wood. Yeah, as you can see.
この木を組み付けるときには釘を使わない。
So like just they're not nailing it. There's no nails.
全部組み合わせをしてます。祇園祭りのここを釘を使わない。
So like just it's always like that all the time. Yeah, like just like they never use nails.
その理由は京都は盆地で四季によって温度湿度がすごく変わります。
So like as you can see, Kyoto is really cold in summer and it's very cold in winter. So like just the temperature is different, like you see in Bali, and also the moisture, like like so that's why like you can't use nail.
織物は適度な湿度がないとうまく織れません。
So like just you always need to have like is a bit of moisture, like when it comes to like this weaving. So like Kyoto is a fantastic place.
昔から先人の知恵でこの木がその特に湿度を吸収してくれます。
So like this wood, why it's made out of wood? Because like that absorbs the moisture. So like it's the old wisdom. Yes.
昔は、こういう湿気のある時は扇風機を使い、湿度のない時には土間に、昔は土間だったんですね。土で土の上に水をまいたりっていうことで湿度をコントロールしました。
So like you said, they used to control the moisture. Like back in the day, like just if it's too wet, then like just they put the fans. But if it's too dry, like you said, they were working on the soil, and then like they put the water on the soil. So like just they control the moisture all the time.
そして、私ところのこの手織りはですね、手でしか織れない、いわゆる同じ帯が日本と織れない、世界で1本しか織れない帯というのを織っています。
So like just his specialty of his company is only one in the world unique woven product. So like because it's done by hand, so like they never be able to make the same thing again. So that's the royalty about this business. Inequality, yeah.
普通の帯屋さん、機械で織る場合はこういうふうな一色の絹糸を横糸で織っていきます。
So like just normally, これがマシンの時はそうです。So if you are using machine, like this, they normally use that thread they normally use just only mono color.
で、私ところはですね、これを見ていただくと何本もの糸が手でよられてます。
So like that's the thread we're using here, like for hand weaving. That's woven, like just so many strands are woven like by hand. Again, this thread is woven by hand as well. Yeah.
こちらは細い糸を2本よってます。
So that's two strands, like it's just very thin thread. Yeah.
こちらはこの細い糸を12本と箔を金箔をよってます。
So that's 12 strands of like this, really thick threads plus like mixed up with the gold thread as well.
手でよることによって金の詰まってるところと間が空いてるところの不規則に金が出ます。
So it's the variegated, yeah, like just the gold and the other color is mixed up really nicely.
これがうちの使う材料の大きな一つの特徴です。
So it's one of the like just, the features that like just the thread like he's using for his business.
そして今度織る道具の中でですね、横糸を波打たし、機械織りを見てもらったら分かるんですけども、機械織りは全部縦糸と横糸が直角になります。
So like when it comes to the machine weaving, the warp and wefts are like right angle. Yeah.
で、私ところは横糸を波打たすときにはこういう道具を使います。
But like just his hand weaving thing, like just the which one's which one's what? Yeah. The one across, like it goes wavy. Yeah, like it doesn't go across. So like just he's using this kind of equipment to make it really, yeah.
この道具も職人が手で作っていきます。
So like just the artisan actually make this tool by hand as well.
細かいよろけだとこういう。
You can make it like this too, like this to make a fine detail.
そして、今 横糸を通して折っていくところに使う材料は道具はですね、こういったこれも手作りの道具です。
So it's all handmade equipment. これはどういう？
これはですね、このちっちゃいのが柄の細かい部分です。
So if you want to make the detailed pattern, like this pattern, yeah, then like they're using this kind of equipment. I'm not sure how it works, but like this, yeah, it's a fine detail. And also all the equipment are made by hand, yeah, handmade.
そしてこれは縦糸をよろけさすときに使う道具です。縦糸かな。縦糸が揺れるように。
So like this, like this, waves are kind of, like shaking, like it's no strike. So like this, that's the equipment for that. So like it create the extra features on here. So like this, that's a kind of like a machine can express these kind of features.
この道具も売ってません。
So not for sale.
職人が釘を打って自分で作ります。
So like this, the artisans are actually nailing like by hand. So like it's yeah, they make their own equipment for their work. Yeah.
という道具を使って彼女が手で織ってきます。
So like just she keeps hand weaving, yeah, like using those kind of things to create those fine details.
で、機械で織るときには縦糸と横糸が直角になります。
So like as I said before, like if the machine weaving is like representing right angle.
これを見ていただくと円を描いてます。
But this one, it's kind of making the circle, yeah.
これを見ていただくと穴が開いたりしています。
So it has got some holes in it sometimes, yeah.
非常に高度な技術が要します。
So that's like requires lots of skill. Like that skills like you can't build in a day, yeah.
で彼女は、日本で数少ない帯の手織りの伝統工芸士です。
So she's one of the very few artisans, and she's got accredited as like just the how can I say traditional artisan, like national accredited traditional artisan. So like she's one of the few. Certified, yes.
ということで、実際に織ってるところを織ってるところは裏向きに折っていきます。
So like just what you were looking at here is on the wrong side out. She's moving wrong side out.
これが裏面です。
So that's wrong side. Yeah, from the back. Yeah.
実際折れ上がるとこれです。
So like that's what you see from the front side. Yeah.
はい。それでジャガードちょっと説明をしてでこれは初期工場で説明をした方がいいんですが、今手旗では、無地の部分だけをジャガードを使っています。これが上に乗ってるのがジャガードです。
So like that what you can see there is jagar.
で、それをここに茶色のこれがモンガミって言います。
So like just these ones like this for mongami, it's kind of patterns.
ここにある。
That's already there.
でこれが実物です。
So like that's the real actual pattern, yeah. So like these patterns actually give the machine like okay what kind of patterns like they create. So like this.
この穴の開いてるところと
Okay, we're going into where the machines make the textiles now.
Don't get too close. I understand. わかりました。すみません。ありがとうございます。では、説明なんですけども、まずはちょっとあちら側の旗で説明させて。Okay. Okay, let's.
Okay, so machines are now taking on the role of more intricate work, textured work, where when it's by hand on those timber looms, there's only so much you can achieve, which is amazing in itself, but this gives them more opportunity to do more, I guess, embossed work. Beautiful. So this is where we're doing our workshop, and there's some beautiful examples. We've got little looms to play with. Look at those pieces. Just beautiful. Look at these, the detail in those patterns. Oh my goodness. Look at the village. And the ship. Amazing. Just beautiful. Some beautiful examples as well over here. It's amazing that this can be achieved on a loom. Oh my goodness, look at those. Okay, well, we'll settle in for our workshop and see what happens.
Then from right to left, like through the shaft, like shuttle. And then don't forget to depress, like don't forget to release the pedal.
Yep.
次左足で左のキーあ
まずpull ね。pull.
左
Then like this left foot, throw, release, pull.
pull
Press, throw, release, pull.
pull
Gosh, we'll have a whole runner in no time.
これですか。はい。
OB 4.4 meters.
4.4 meters by lunch. More like 4 mil.
So you're
A
opening
scant.
like this,
A quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
okay
Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a go. We've got issues.
We've had a little
now-
carry on.
It's around my
So
ankles.
the shuttle fell on the floor, and then she got help to pick it up, and then it wrapped itself around her leg. Don't know how much weaving's going to get done. It's a lot of laughing.
Slight mishap.
See what happens next. All right, we've got it sorted now.
Yep. I've got a knot.
Oh no.
Hang on. We've got a knot. We can't have a knot in the middle of it.
It's where they joined it on, probably.
Oh well. We've
You've got a knot.
It'll give it a characteristic.
Oop, it's stuck again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, God. You might be able to pull it out with the thread when it does that. I don't really know.
Give some more thread. I think I'm not giving myself enough to throw the shuttle.
You're too delicate. You just got to throw it.
They wouldn't invite me back for a second shift, I don't think.
You might not get a full-time job, no. Okay, cool. All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn you off now.
Okay guys, our day is done. We're finished. We're back to the hotel, and I went into Google and found that there was a fabric store within about a kilometre walk. So we're 3 levels down in what appears to be like a shopping centre. The top level seems to be like a Harvey Norman Good Guys, an electrical type place, and then downstairs is all of these stores. So I'm having a little bit of a hunt around to see what I can find. Found a lot of William Morris made bags and zipper pouches and things like that, so that caught my eye. There's a little bit of William Morris fabric in there that's caught my eye. A lot of Liberty. There's a lot of Tana lawn here. This whole section is Liberty. So I'll have to have a bit of a rummage there. I just saw some bias binding that was Liberty somewhere too on my first walkthrough. So I might check that out. Strawberry thief is everywhere. Oh, there's some interesting fabrics down the bottom there. What did I spot in here and then why I came back? Oh, Laura Ashley down the bottom there. They're just beautiful. Over in the back corner of the store, that far corner, it's all notions, buttons, zippers, yarn to the front, a little bit of jewellery. It's like a spotlight in a very small space, if you want to describe it like that. Let's keep walking. I might pick up a pen that I can use for sashiko. This fabric here caught my eye. That there. As you can see, it was out. There's a little bag made in it. It's so pretty. Berry. About $8.80 a metre. Yeah, I'm thinking I might get a piece of that. Don't know what I'll use it for, but I like the colours and I like the print. Is that enough of a reason? Probably not. It's been a long day today. We've got a dinner later on tonight, but we've been given the grace to have a night off if we want, and I think I will. I'm going to put my feet up. We've been here on the hottest day in 10 years in Kyoto. Like, seriously, you just can't time this stuff. So everyone's pretty knocked around. So a few have gone off to visit a famous shrine nearby. A few have gone back to the hotel already. And then there's a couple of us that are venturing out a little bit more, but our day is coming to an end fast, I believe. All right, well, I might tune out. And like the last video, this could be one day or it could be 2 days together. I'll have a look at the footage when I get back. Oh, look at those. When I get back to the room, I'll just see, you know, oh gosh, where do you start? I'll just see, you know, what I've gathered and go from there. All right, guys. If this is the end of one day, see you in the next video. If not, in a few seconds, a day will start again. Bye. Hello again. I'm back up in the room with my goodies from that store, and I thought I might show you now, which I've sort of been doing as I've been filming, showing you my purchases. that will mean I probably won't be doing a haul video at the end of this little series, so we'll see how we go. Okay, first thing, I found this fabric here, and I got the last 2 meters on the bolt of fabric on the roll, and I'm just looking at my receipt here, and I believe it was $14, so pretty good for 2 meters of a nice cotton made in Japan fabric. The top 3 things on my receipt are pretty easy to figure out. This was the next thing, which is quite a heavy William Morris strawberry thief print, which I thought was beautiful. I don't know, when I picked it up I had Huswith in mind, or something in the way of, because it's heavy duty, making something that can carry my bits and bobs in, or a project bag or something like that. At the moment, that's what I'm thinking for that. This fabric is actually going to be connected to my next Just Because quilt, which is going to be a Japanese influence quilt. I've been thinking about it for a while, but just sort of put it off a bit to get this trip out of the way, and maybe there was some treasures that I can add, which then brings me to this item. Just looking at the receipt, about $28 Australian. Once again, Strawberry Thief from the William Morris prints that are out there in the marketplace, and it's got a little drawstring internal sleeve which keeps everything in once you cinch that in. I thought it was a lovely design. Love the print. So that was a nice little piece. So they were the really cool things. I then picked up some more Sashiko thread. Now I got some from the store yesterday in bigger skeins. All their little skeins were sold out. Now most of these came in at $1.10, something like that. So at first I'd picked up the pastels. Then I went back and thought, you know what, it's $1, for goodness sakes, at least get 2 of each colour, which I did. Then I went back again, and yesterday I picked up a navy, a mustard, an olive, and a pink sort of tone. So that's what led me to that one, sort of suits those. So that's citrine yellow. Then I picked up that guy, and that one. So I sort of built myself a little Sashiko range of threads. This was the bias binding that I spotted, but I'm not sure if it is Liberty. It's sort of got that Liberty vibe. 2 meters of it. Is there a price anywhere? No. And the receipt, I can't quite work out what these were. From memory, they were $4, $3, something like that. Finally found one of these. Jennifer Clouston uses these clover cutters. So there was one of those on the shelf. They seem to sell out so quick when they pop up on the shelves in Australia. So to see one and grab it and give it a try, I thought that would be a bit of fun. And I think from memory, it's like $3. I've wanted one of these for a while, and again, out of stock so quickly in Australia. These will be really good for helping me draw my Sashiko prints when I use my stencil. It's got a refillable chalk white pencil inside, and I grabbed a refill as well. I might pause the video, and I'm going to unwrap these because they're in a little bag, show you them, and because I'm holding the camera with one hand, so I might unpack these and we'll go again. Won't be long. Okay, now to show you the trims. So they had a lovely range of trims there, all different widths, but majority of them were around that 5 centimeter sort of mark, 2.5 inch sort of width. Just to keep myself focused, I picked a color scheme that I think will probably be suitable for the up-and-coming Roxy Journal of Stitchery project that's coming, Gathered Things. If you remember back to when I was throwing ideas around in the first video of that series, I was thinking nature, fine embroidery images, pieced together scraps of fabric, the Liberty blues, some quilt blocks, and bunnies. So with that in mind, I picked things that had the blue, that soft mustardy creams, and I don't know if you recall, I used a few of these types of trims in my flower series where I did a panel for each season, Stitch the Seasons. And when I laid these into my work, I put seed stitch all through there to sort of push back that tulle that these are embroidered onto and make it look like I had embroidered the space, but it was one of these trims. And I really like the effect. So that's how I came to this colour scheme with that Roxy project in the back of my mind. This one's a little beauty. Why? Because it's a different shape. I like the fact that it's just, you know, a little circle. I like the fact there's a little bit of gold and silver, which has sort of made me think about my beads, that I bring in a little bit of sparkle to the piece. This one here is not really the colour scheme, but I just liked it from the aspect that it was floral. Very pretty. And if that had all seed stitch through there, I'm not a fan of this tulle. It sort of reminds me of stockings. So that's sort of how I came to the decision to seed stitch through. So that sort of disappears. So yeah, that's the little trims. This one here was just a random thing. Sort of reminded me of crocheting and quilting. And I thought, you know what? I have never seen that before. I'm going to get it. Most of these trims were around that $3 mark, and they were about 50 centimeters worth. The one was pre-cut. The rest I had to take to the counter and get the lady to cut them for me. So yeah, I like to shop by colour scheme. It sort of limits it, guarantees too that a project will come of it, because I'm building the materials for something. Don't know what, but something. So that's sort of the way I shop, if anyone's wondering, you know, what sort of, I guess, thought goes into my purchasing. I try to have a bit of an outline of a project. So a Japanese just because quilt with sashiko being the embroidery element. And then we've got the Roxy coming up, which is nature, bunnies. So it brings in those stitcheries I was doing on the train the other day. And the colour palette I decided weeks ago with those Tana Lawn Liberties. So yeah, it's really helping me keep a little focused. So what I'll show you next is when we were at the weaving factory, they had samples of their work available for us to buy. Lots of different piles. They ranged from $10, which is where I shopped, right up to $100. And some of those pieces may have had a trim on the side, like some fringing, so it was ready to put out onto a table or something. So I'll show you the three that I selected. This one here, absolutely beautiful. Oh, just gorgeous. And I've just noticed the butterfly. I didn't notice that in the showroom. So there's two tones, which I thought was great value really, because I could cut it here and makes a little pouch with a zipper out of one and one out of that, or fold it here, seam up the sides with a zipper at the end and have a bigger pouch. Just beautiful. It's just amazing how they create these textiles. Now this one of the workshops we did, you saw the looms where we were playing, was we covered a button and they gave us a pile of fabrics, and we cut out of the fabric a little circle, pressed it into these metal pieces that then clamped together to make a button. Well, it was a badge, probably the size of 2 inches, maybe a fraction less. And I chose a silver fabric because I thought, well, maybe I can make it into a Christmas decoration for my Christmas tree. So when I went to the table looking at these samples that were available, I spotted this one and I thought, well, I thought it had a fold. Yeah, it did. I spotted that fold. So it is nearly double that length. And I thought maybe I could make this into a table runner. So to me it's finished reasonably well, but maybe I add some fringing. And because my Christmas tree is silver white champagne, and then I pick like a turquoisey color or a red, or like each year I put a different color into the base of silver, gold and white. So I thought a Christmas runner would be lovely, and it's a decent size. This one's not as big, I don't think. No, that's the seam. So they were the first two. Then I sort of left the area, walked away. I thought, well, that's plenty. And there were others looking, so I ended up going back at the end when everyone had done and just had another thumb through, and I found this one. And I just thought it was beautiful. So it's a creamy, bony colour, but there's these three beautiful stripes in there. I don't know what I would make out of it. I don't know, maybe this gave me that, the vibe for the, oh, see, that's what's happened. Let me show you something. I don't know, colour to me is very suggestive. And once it's in my mind, I tend to then shop that way. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way my brain is. But look at this. I'm not a big pastel girl, but I purchased this an hour or so earlier. Then I'm looking at the Sashiko threads and I was drawn to these. Isn't that funny? There you go. Suggestive colour thinking. I don't know. What do you call that? It's very odd. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. All right, guys, that's it for me. This is only going to be the one day, one video. I've put most of it into the editing studio on my phone, and I thought I'll film our purchases and then we'll leave it at that. So tomorrow's another big day. So off to bed, early night, rest up, hydrate. Oh, it was so hot today. Goodness me, guys. It was the hottest day in 10 years. I may have mentioned this already in the video, but today was the hottest day in 10 years. And yeah, really knocked us around. I'm not officially sure of the temperature. I think it got up to the very high 38, 39, 40, something like that. But oh, it was horrid. All right, I better go and leave you to it. Have a lovely day and catch you all in the next video. Bye.